boxing enters the final stretch of the year in a curious position. The sport is still buzzing from one of the boldest crossover events in recent memory. Terence Crawford comprehensively outboxing Canelo Alvarez in a spectacle that dominated headlines and debate, but the calendar ahead looks thin on genuine, must-see main events. Beyond a handful of solid matchups and a slate of prospects trying to turn themselves into contenders, the conversation has tilted toward an exhibition that hardly anyone would have predicted 12 months ago would command so much attention. Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis are expected to share a ring in a non-sanctioned bout that will drive clicks, arguments, and pay-per-view sign UPS far out of proportion to its sporting stakes. That does not mean the sport is without serious fights. There is real intrigue in the heavyweight division as October closes, with Joseph Parker scheduled to face Fabio Wardley in a bout that may lack the glitz of the biggest stadium nights but has the attributes that matter: form, relevance, and consequences. Parker and Wardley are not crossover celebrities or perennial headliners, yet both are among the best heavyweights on current form, both carry momentum, and both have voiced the same goal: a shot at Oleksandr Usyk. If you follow boxing news closely, you know that the three-belt champion has no confirmed opponent and a set of obligations looming. Parker had been in position via the WBO as a mandatory challenger, yet Team Usyk passed on that route for now, fueling a fresh round of speculation about the champion's plans. The frontrunner theory remains that Usyk is holding out for a third fight with Tyson Fury. The two men met twice in 2024, and the Ukrainian southpaw prevailed both times with performances that reinforced his reputation as the most complete heavyweight of his era. Fury, who publicly announced his retirement, has left enough doors open with his language and behavior to keep a trilogy within reach if the terms align: money, sight, timing, and sanctioning body permissions. If that bout can be made, it would trump any other option on the table. If it cannot, the clock will begin to tick louder on the mandates that accompany a multi-belt reign. The IBF's turn is next in line, with mandatory challenger status to be decided through a final eliminator. That eliminator will feature Frank Sanchez, the slick Cuban technician few elites favor as a voluntary opponent. The Sanchez picture has become a case study in risk and reward at heavyweight. On paper, the prize is substantial. A win in a sanctioned final eliminator means a guaranteed title shot, either against Usyk or for a vacant IBF title if circumstances push the belt free. In reality, the proposition comes with hazards that are hard to ignore. Sanchez is a difficult knight for anyone. Trained in the Cuban school, he offers fast feet for a big man, patient setups, educated counters, and a temperament that refuses to be bullied into exchanges. He rarely looks flustered, he wins rounds, and he makes opponents look worse than they are. He is also not a massive ticket seller in most markets. That combination, a high-caliber, low-upside assignment, scares off more heavyweights than it attracts. We have already seen that logic play out. Ajagba, a dangerous puncher in his own right, declined the IBF eliminator when Sanchez's name came up. Now comes the bigger development. Moses Itama, the most hyped young heavyweight in the sport, has also passed on the opportunity. For weeks, industry chatter suggested Itama might skip stages and take his place in a final eliminator, grabbing the pole position to challenge Usyk. Some observers even floated early rumors of a direct Usyk-Itama clash, an audacious jump that would make him the rare 20-something to walk into a heavyweight title fight ahead of schedule. The talent is real. Itama is viewed by many insiders as the most dangerous heavyweight outside of the champion himself, a mix of speed, physicality, and composure that does not come around often. If he had chosen to fight Sanchez, the betting markets might have installed him as a narrow favorite, and a victory would have booked him the IBF mandatory position. That is not how the next chapter will unfold. Itama and his team have declined the eliminator. The reason has not been publicly detailed, but the decision sends a clear message about priorities and timing. Either he and his advisors believe Sanchez represents more risk than reward right now, or they are close to finalizing a different fight that makes more sense, financially, strategically, or both. It could be a higher-profile opponent that anchors a domestic stadium show. It could be a bout that offers a comparable purse with fewer technical hazards. It could be a bid to keep him active against styles that accelerate his development without jeopardizing the long arc toward championship contention. Whatever the calculus, it intersects with a broader set of questions hanging over the heavyweight division, and it leaves the IBF scenario more open than it was a week ago. The path to a heavyweight title is rarely linear. Sanctioning bodies operate on rotations, purse bid deadlines, and exceptions that carve out detours for super fights. Usyk's camp understands that reality better than most. If a trilogy with Fury re-enters the conversation in